Saeed Umar is walking through the process of the day's production with his staff. The managing director of HSF Foods, a cashew processing company, says he wants to grow his months-old business beyond the shores of Nigeria. But high production costs, lack of access to finance and quality raw cashew nuts have posed a challenge.
We have a large energy costs to process our cashews because there's no constant power. Also, there's a large capital required to be able to purchase the raw cashews, which we are unable to do because you need to purchase within the season. Otherwise, you won't be able to get good cashew kernels, good raw cashew.
Nigeria is the fourth largest cashew producer in Africa, and according to Nigeria's Export Promotion Council, cashew was the fifth leading non-oil exportable product in Nigeria in 2022. The country exported nearly 400,000 metric tons of raw cashew nuts worth over $250 million last year, and now the government is looking to double that amount in 2023. But experts say issues like delays at ports slowing down the export process could hamper this projection.
What we do most of the time right now is that those cashew nuts are being exported without being processed. In 2020, 2019, we had a situation where we had cashew nuts close to $300 million, stranded in the port because of the processes, the congestion to have this cashew move to the ultimate users. And I mean, that cost us quite a lot, not just in the revenue, but also in the suppliers.
Experts say much of what is exported is in its raw form. They say the government needs to ensure that it encourages quality production of cashews and more processing of cashews.
If our farmers are being properly mobilized, given the right seedlings, if the middlemen are doing what it takes to move these things from the plantations to the factories, where these things are now being processed and then taken out. If we reduce the amount of export of the raw cashew nuts, it will make more money if we process them than just exporting this raw cashew.
Nigeria's government says it is committed to fixing aging infrastructure, which is slowing down trade at some of the ports. It also plans to begin construction of a new deep-sea port this year. Earlier this month, the Nigerian Export Promotion Council launched an organic cashew certification program for export, a 5-year program that will see support and funding from the U.S. Department of Agriculture to assist cashew producers in improving their output. And cashew processors like Saeed will be looking to benefit from this.
So guys, and you see, let's get in this fast and quick. This is the issue with the agricultural farming industry in Africa, the continent. They all have the same issue, which is they don't have steady power, so they have lack of electricity throughout the year. So Zimbabwe just proved that when you have steady flow of current, the impact it has on a specific product, like for instance the wheat in Africa. So in Zimbabwe, they just produce over 70,000 ton extra than they normally do because of the steady flow of current they have for storing and refining their stuff. This is Nigeria, and the cashew is a $500 million industry, and it still have room to grow because once you have steady flow of current, they can produce way more than what they're producing currently. So you can imagine this year alone, they produced last year, they produced $500 million in cashew. So you can imagine if they have a steady flow of current, how much money they can accumulate up to $1 billion. Know that a big jump in the economy. It helps to hire more people, government get their share, and then there's a cycle, and then they will stop exporting the raw cashew and refine it in the country. Because when export it, you lose almost half your income because it's exported, and then all you do is buy it, pick it, clean it and sell it, ship it out. You don't refine it, you don't package it, you don't roast it, you don't boil it, you don't do nothing to it. So they are losing money even though it's still a $500 million company. And this is what they are saying. If they can get a steady flow of current, they can always produce way more, because Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Ghana, South Africa, they all have the same issue with the stable electrical steady flow of current for these farms to store. And storage is the key. They can't get to store and refine their products because of lack of electrical grids. So it's current. So if this is what I would do, and I'm imploring the governments to do, pay specific attention to farmers. Make sure they have a steady flow of current. There's ways to do this. It can be done. Or if we can guarantee a steady flow of current throughout the year, give them solar power. Africa is a continent. It's a tropical continent. You have the sun 24/7. So if they invest, let's say, a $5 billion, not sorry, I mean a $5 million in solar panel and batteries. So for these farms, they can't lose because most of these companies, most of these agricultural farm products like wheat, cashew, avocado, lime, citrus, lime, which is lime, lemon, orange. All these products, they can produce way more. Corn, all this stuff can be produced on a mass scale because they have enough storage room for one, and two, they have a steady flow of current. So invest in solar panels for these farms and then give them a tax write-off if they have to buy it themselves, because the cost of buying diesel for a generator to run to keep the current going, that's gonna make a deep cut in the profits. So leave them install and buy their own solar system, and then give them a tax break until they recover their funds. Or the government can just directly invest into solar panels for these companies so they can start to don't have to spend so much money on consuming energy because they have to be buying diesel for the generators because they don't have a steady flow of current. And then that will help largely, and more people get jobs because we get more money. So I don't understand what is the issue, unless this is of outside influence because they're holding the government's hands not to invest too much money in the farm, because a few African countries actually ban import of rice, oil, certain products they are banning. So I really hope that the government put more emphasis on this, and then we can see an explosion in agriculture on a whole on the continent. So let's hope Nigeria can do better with this. But they are trying actually, so I'm not gonna say they should, because they are currently doing a what's the name? A oil and gas pipeline they are running in the country costs $2 billion for the time to install, and it should finish by the third quarter of this year. And they said they're gonna add over 3 point something megaton of current to the country infrastructure. And so let's hope that will help the situation in Nigeria. So anyway, thanks for watching. You don't know, it's the WSXM podcast. As always, tell a friend, like, share, and subscribe. So peace, one love. Boom.